During the 18th century, courantes could be wildly different depending on where they were danced. Johann Mattheson, a fellow composer in Bach's Leipzig, wrote that the French courante was the suite's slowest and stateliest dance. The French courante is exemplified by only one from Bach's cello suites, the fifth in C minor. The Italian style, Courante, is the fastest Baroque dance. Two of them are also included in the cello suites, the second in D minor and the third in C major. To complicate matters, in all Bach's solo cello works, as they've come down to us, the French name is used for both types, even if they're actually at opposite extremes of the tempo spectrum. So he obviously relied on the performer to distinguish which were which. To further complicate things, the three remaining courantes in the cello set are neither French nor Italian. They fall into a separate category loosely called the instrumental courante. They are not meant to be danced at all, and even their intended tempi are a matter of some conjecture. Understanding this music today requires studying sources that were still hidden in archives 130 years ago. Cellists today normally play the suites following Pablo Casals' famous interpretation, which was worked out in the 1890s. Owing to the paucity of information available to Casals back then, listeners today still don't hear any tempo difference between courante styles. Neither do they hear the proportio sesquialtera, a characteristic alternation between rhythmic groups of twos and threes, common to the French courante, with the sole exception of the fourth in E-flat major, one of his instrumental style courantes, by the way. The faster tempo preferred by Casals for every courante produces a jerky, uneven French-style movement in the fifth suite. It's oddly un-Bach-like, even when we're used to hearing it that way. So, why are all these styles called courantes? Is there a basic courante idea for Bach? If so, what's different and what remains constant between them? The fact that in Bach's hands, faster courantes, like the one from the fourth cello suite in E-flat major, do alternate between twos and threes, proves that, at least for Bach, those rhythms are a common hallmark of all courantes, right across national styles and regardless of tempo. Indeed, that was already true of the very earliest courantes as they emerged from earlier basse danse. In the C minor courante, rhythmic contrasts between groups of twos and threes appear sparingly, only at cadence points. In the D major courante from the sixth suite, BWV 1012, they're arguably more plentiful. Bach didn't always spell his rhythmic contrasts out, as he did in the E-flat courante. Again, he assumed that the cellist, knowing the genre and having discerned where they were, would bring out the duplets and triplets appropriately. That assumption fits neatly into the 18th century's concept of basic musical building blocks, as described in such treatises as Heinrich Christoph Koch's three-volume Versuch einer Anleitung zur Komposition. Not surprisingly, it also conforms with how Bach's violin works are structured. Interesting, there, only his slur marks indicate where the proper rhythmic groups are. Bach's original manuscript of the cello suites is long lost, and the sketchy accuracy of three 18th century copies that are considered primary sources today can't help us much. They all differ from each other. Today, classical musicians are taught that superimposing metric contrasts on somebody else's music is simply the wrong thing to do. But Bach's working life predated the very beginnings of modern approaches to understanding literature, music included, by several decades. It's important we start rethinking how to play this music, taking into account what's known about it now.